Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Before I hand things off to Marvin Mao, just real quickly, my name is Len Thompson. I'm the community manager for all of CA's mainframe communities. I see a couple questions coming in about the recording. Yes, we're absolutely going to be recording this session, and we'll publish it out in the communities either later today or later this week, depending on when WebEx outputs the recording. Also, there are a couple people who are asking to get on the audio broadcast. You should automatically be dropped into it when you join. If you are not, I think if you go up to the communicate at the top and check your audio connection, you can join that way. So that's it for me. So Marvin, take it away.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Len. Good morning or afternoon to everyone on the call. My name is Marvin Mao, and I support marketing for CA's DevOps for Mainframe Solution. It's my pleasure to welcome you to today's webcast. It's all a clip and overview of CA Technology's comprehensive toolset for today's mobile-to-mainframe development team. It's also my privilege to introduce our speaker today, Dejan Milinkovic, Principal Product Manager for CA Development Environment for Z Systems. Just before we get started, a few quick notes. Please keep your phone muted to ensure the audio quality for this webcast. And if you have any questions, there is a Q&A button there at the top right that you can use to submit that. Okay, wonderful. Can we move to the next slide, please? Great. So just before I hand things off to Dejan, I wanted to set some context. I see, we've discussed at length for the need to bring DevOps to mainframe for greater business agility, and really one important pillar of that principle is this notion to build swiftly. And that really comes to life in this statement here. As an enterprise application development team, we need the ability to easily manage, develop, and maintain cross-enterprise applications using diverse teams, different tools on different platforms to maximize productivity, quality, and mean time to resolution. And as you can see here at the bottom, Agile development really enables mainframe teams to achieve this objective by allowing them to develop and maintain their applications with Agile and modern methodologies, toolsets, and coding languages. Today we'll be presenting an overview of CA development environment for Z Systems that throughout you'll see sprinkles of these underlying principles come into play, which you'll see here as Go Agile, onboard quickly, integrate mainframe. Okay, next slide, please. Finally, just one quick reminder, folks. CA development environment for Z Systems plays a role in a much larger ecosystem of products that form CA's DevOps for Mainframe Solutions. It's an absolute integral role, though, and as such, we'll be delivering 2 additional webcasts in the following months. One in May to go over more about how to make a change to an application within CA development environment for Z Systems. And then following that in June, we're going to discuss more about how to work with the Eclipse plugins for the testing tools and Endeavor integrations. So with that, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things off to Dejan. Why don't you go ahead and take it away? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Marvin. My name is Dejan Milinkovic, and I'm a product manager for CA testing tools and also for CA development environment for Z Systems. On today's session, we'll focus on some of the capabilities what CA development environment for Z system is providing, and also we'll try to show some of them. Before we start, we can start with a question that what is a CA development environment? So basically, it's a modern integrated development environment, IDE, for maintaining, supporting, and developing mainframe applications. It runs on the top of the IBM IDZ, also formerly known as IBM RDZ, Rational Development Environment for the systems. And shortly, we can say there is a development environment for software engineers and developers. If you look at the software lifecycle, it's about making developers to be more productive. It's not about the agile management or process management, even if the CA development environment is offering connection with the agile management tools as Jira or Agile Central. as they are Eclipse-based. It does have integration with debugging, with fault analysis, and of course with Endeavor. These are all of the things what we believe that the development persona needs to have access to be more effective and productive in his job. So if you are familiar, for example, with Visual Studio from Microsoft, what is basically IDE, so development environment is IDE for the mainframe. On the slide, you can see the sample picture, how the IDE looks like. In a high level, it's being able to work with a code coming, for example, from the Endeavor. This code can be edited in rich editors, what are included in the development environment. You should be able to visualize things, to visual applications what you are working on, and also you can see that there is integration with the Agile Central. So basically, you can use it as in a full Agile process. So that's basically a high-level picture what the developer will see when he will be working with the development environment. So why the customers and developers are looking on dev environment? There are numerous of studies that are showing that having lots of views and being able to understand what you are currently working on from different point of views, from different perspectives, are helping you to increase your productivity in average about 20%. Also, development environment is, as a modern IDE, helping to attract and retain of next generation of mainframe developers, as is a modern interface. For those who might know other IDE or Eclipse, they will be quite quickly familiar also with using of development environment. If you have, for example, Java developers, what you need to do the cross-training for them or get them involved into writing or maintaining COBOL codes. So this platform is something what will definitely help you. There is also a service-oriented architecture that helps to generate REST APIs, JSON, and SOAP interfaces, for example, for CICS or KICS programs. And it has capabilities integrated which help you to manage code quality better than you may have been used to do it on using ISPF screens. So at the high level, these are some of the value propositions what you can consider when thinking about the open environment for the systems. I can see a question if the IDZ is required, so I will try to answer this question quite quickly now. So IDZ is not required. The CA development environment is built on the top of the IDZ. So basically, you don't need the IDZ to be able to run the CA development environment. Okay.
Folks, my apologies here. I did make one slight mistake here on this slide. So, Dehan, would you just mind going over sort of the main components here for development environment for C systems, and we'll continue pushing this through.
Okay. So basically, if you look on the product, it runs on the top of the Eclipse. It has set of capabilities that integrate with the mainframe. Development environment, it's a Windows-based product on Eclipse, and it's talk to the mainframe and manipulate the mainframe on behalf of the user who is basically sitting in the Windows and using the Windows as his operating system. C development environment is provided with is delivered with the integration with RCA Endeavor, C Intertest and SimDump, and also FileMaster Plus and Mainframe Application Tuner. It has support for languages as COBOL, PL1, C, C++, and JCL. Also, you are able to do the DB2 and create or run queries and store procedures. And as I already mentioned earlier, it interacts with the web services. So with development environment, you can connect to the ZOS systems. You can create and manage data sets. You can compile. You can edit, do the debugging. You can work with DB2. You can create DB2 statements, and also you are able to work even with the BMF maps or MFS maps. If you are creating web services, dev environment allows you to point in the copybook, and Wizard will take you to the creating of SOA or RESTful interfaces, and it will generate the code for you and build a test harness, and it will allow you to test it in real time out of the development environment. When we are talking about the support for the runtimes, there is also built into the CICS Explorer and also IMS Explorer, what we are using to interact with CICS or IMS runtime. You basically, when using CICS Explorer, you can see what transactions are active. You can do the new copies, or you can put the code into the test and interact with CICS within the IDE. And it has, as mentioned, integration to our tools for debugging and file manipulation. With using of SimDump, you can get fault analysis if you got an event or fault. And Endeavor, as many of you already know, is our main source for code management tool, and you can interact with Endeavor in the more modern way using the Endeavor plugin and edit the elements and dealing with the packages. Remote systems looks like Windows Explorer, but it's interacting with ZOS, with PDS, PDSs, as well as GDG files, JCLs, COBOL, PL1, RX, and also with assembler programs. Development environment provides option to interact with your JES output. So that's basically very shortly how you can interact with the files on the mainframe. Editor, it's a very rich editor, and for example, if you hover over the copybook, and copybook will pop up as a pop-up dialog, and you can basically drop it into the editor and edit the copybook. So that's more or less highlighting a very important point, that the development environment isn't just looking at the source, but is also looking at all of the programs that are related with the source, so what this source calls. So it knows the copybooks. If those copybooks include the other copybooks, it will also show all the other dependencies. So developer, when he will be looking on the code, he will be actually looking at the source and all of the dependencies what this source interact with. As mentioned earlier, dev environment has a whole bunch of the editors within it. It has COBOL and PL1 editor. They come basically in two different flavors, so you can interact them as in ISPF using the Alpex editor, and it also allows you to use the command line. And there is also more advanced Eclipse editor also for COBOL and PL1, what is more look like Java editor, what is currently used in modern IDEs for Java. We have also screen editors for BMS and MFS. In the example, you can see BMS map, and actually it shows visually, not probably very well, but visually different fields. You can see the tabs, you can look in the design view or in the source view. You can do drag and drop with the new elements, and if you will add a new element, the BMS map code will be generated behind it for you. And of course, there are the modern language editors for WSDL, XML, JSON, and so on and so on. All of the editors have many different capabilities. I will not go through all of the list of the capabilities, but I will just highlight some of them as preprocessor support. So basically, if you use execx, what is written in traditional COBOL, the dev environment is able to handle it. We know all the CICS related parameters, and we have built in the COBOL preprocessor what basically can handle it. Also, even if you are familiar with IDMS database, CA-IDMS database, so even the CA-IDMS database is able to run with the dev environment. Another feature of what we can highlight is basically comparing, and that's quite good, for the developers to compare several versions of the code, so they can basically visually see what were the changes, and they were able even to decide which change should they use for the next version. And of course, it's a modern IDE, so you are able not only to see some limited set of the lines when you are working on your programs, but you can see it on the whole screen. You can even open several sessions, compare it side by side, or even put it on different screens. It always depends how you like to work with your code and what you are used to. Editor has also additional ways of visualization. There are a couple of these different ways what you can look on the source, and one of them is using a program control flow, what is showing different paragraphs and who calls whom, and basically you can click anywhere in the program control flow, and it will immediately take you to your source program to respective place where you can see the code. There is also a data flow, so you can see how the data is flowing to the source, what you are editing. Again, we are now looking on the remote systems, and we already have talked about the JS, editing PDS and PDSs. What is good on the remote systems is that you are able to add any number of the LPARs or systems. As well, you can look on that from different program hierarchy. Majority of these actions and working with the mainframe will be shown today in the demo after the presentation. In other way, that's as you can see, this is not only connecting to the ZOS, but you are also able to access the Unix system service side. You can also create your own Windows box. So basically, you can download the code or text from the mainframe or from the USS and to your local machine and access it locally and do the editing locally if you prefer to do that. Okay, service enablement. So I talked before about being able to generate JSON, WSDL, XML, and XSDE characteristics. Development environment support top-down, meet in the middle, and also bottom-up. So for those who doesn't know what does terms means, quickly it's about for example, in top-down, you have an architect in your organization, and basically he generates the architecture, how the web services should look like. He provides you the input parameters, the output parameters, and you need to generate a CI/CD COBOL program that will support that architecture and specification. For that, you can use the WSDL, and it will generate a COBOL program for you. Bottom-up is basically when you have the COBOL programs and you want to create a web service interface for that program, so you're basically starting from the COBOL. And meet in the middle is when you have some architecture already created and you have already also some programs, so basically you need to map the specifications of what you get from the architecture. In all three cases, you generate the code, but you also generate the program what will actually allow you to test the interface without having anybody else or any other, for example, distributed guy who needs to create the program for you for testing. Development environment has emulator built into it, so you don't have to have an extra emulator on your desktop as is built into the dev environment. So if you need to work with your emulator, you can just use the dev environment. If you prefer to work still with the ISPF for some accessing of the mainframe. Of course, as any other modern tool, it have a lot of helps or wizards what are able to help you when you are getting starting with the application, and also if you don't know something how you would like to do it, it can even provide you also the videos for the things that maybe you are interested in. It have a unit testing framework. So if you are familiar with Java, in Java exists the framework what is called JUnit, which is standard for building unit test cases in Java. If you are not familiar with JUnit, it's basically architecture what start up the environment, generate the program what will test the API, and in the end it will bring the environment down, the test environment down. What dev environment has is basically derivate of the JUnit designed for the COBOL and for the PLI, and it's called ZUnit. It's similar with the JUnit for a couple of different reasons. One of them is that the new generation what are coming from the college, basically they already understand and know the JUnit, so it's easier for them, to also understand the ZUnit principles of work. And also the tools what you are using on distributed side for reporting on JUnit, they can be also easily used also on the ZUnit. You can actually point on the code and it will generate you a test case, and it will build it, and it will run it, and it will even create a configuration for being able to create a test environment and then bring the test environment down. And all of that is part of the dev environment, build it in. There is also support for data tooling. You can interact with DB2 databases, you can access the databases, load, do the extract, you can point to the code. If you have an SQL statement in your code, you can run it from the dev environment. As mentioned before, you can create or store procedures, and it can also integrate with IBM Data Studio, what can provide you additional capability when working with the DB2 databases. Code review and code governance. As you probably know, different company has different rules. So let's say that in your company you have some certain standards, or there are certain no statements or sequences of the statements, what you know that they are bad performing, or you have some naming conventions what you need to make sure that your developers are following, or you want them to follow. So all of these things we can call rules, and these rules needs to be run against the source before the code is authorized to be promoted. Dev environment is providing some basic rules that are coming with the product. They are created based on the years of experience working with the mainframe developers, what you of course can use, but also there is a possibility to also define your own rules and which you want your developers to follow. These defined rules can be easily then pushed, from the mainframe side, from the host side, down to the client. There is a lot of things in the open environment what can be customized and shared, like definitions, snippets, links to various host systems, or even the customization of the editor layouts. And all of these customizations can be centrally managed on the mainframe, and then you can push them or share down to the clients. So there is not necessary that your developers will have to set up their environment by themselves and basically waste the time with the setuping. Everything can be done centrally from the mainframe. So that was very shortly and very high level of the most of the capabilities what are in the product.
That's really great. Thank you so much. And folks, we do have a demo prepared for the latter half of this webcast. But before we get there, I do want to make sure that we address the questions that have come over the first half of this session. And before that, let me just quickly give a shout out to CA World this November. Please save the date. It's November 13th through 17th of this year, and very soon we'll be sending out our call for speakers, which I really want to take a moment to promote here. Folks, the best sessions that we deliver at CA World are based on customer input and customer feedback. So we would love to hear your perspective on what you want to learn or discuss or present at CA World this November. Certainly, if you feel keen to be a presenter, to be a speaker, please go and put your foot forward. But this is also an opportunity for you to provide us your ideas on topics that should be covered, and we take those very seriously in our planning process. So be ready. That will be coming out very soon. And as always, you can learn more about CA World by visiting ca.com/CAWorld. So before we go to the demo, I do see there are a number of questions on here. I guess I'll go ahead and read them out, and if you can address those, that would be great. So first, quickly, does this support code written to access CA IDMS databases or CA ADS code?
Yes, there is a connection with CA IDMS databases, so we are supporting the code what is written on CA IDMS databases.
Wonderful, good to hear. Can you maybe comment on whether C development environment for Z systems can perform execution and debugging on the PC?
The debugging, for the debugging, we are using other C tool, what it's called Intertest. And basically, you can also do the debugging on the PC when you are using the Intertest plugin, what is delivered with the Intertest.
Great, great. And if I understand correctly, C development environment for Z systems does include a plugin to Intertest. Is that right?
Yes.
Or integration.
Yeah, it's integrated there, but to be able, to use the Intertest, you need to have also the Intertest core product installed on your host system.
Great. Here's another one. We are a Meta COBOL shop with Datacom using very little SQL. Could you perhaps comment on how they might be able to adopt this solution?
With the Datacom, there is also another question with the Datacom. With the Datacom, we still do not have a good interaction. So for now, I believe that there will not be useful, to move when you are using the Datacom with the devs, with the development environment.
Excellent. I see we have a number of questions here on IDMS. So here's another one. Can I do IDD or ADSO work without using the terminal emulator?
Oh, unfortunately, that's something what I will need to figure it out, and I'll let you know. I'm not sure if we can do the IDD, but I need to figure it out.
Excellent. Here, a good question here about installation. Is the install of this product similar to the install of Eclipse plugin for Endeavor, or into Endeavor, sorry?
The installation of the product is as simple as the other tools what you are using on the distributed side. And during the installation, you have option to choose what kind of other plugins or basically the tools you want to have installed also with the CA development environment with the client side.
Excellent. Okay, folks, I'm actually going to go ahead and take a pause here in the interest of time. I do want to make sure we have plenty left to go over the demo, so why don't we go ahead and get that started.
Okay. Okay, can you confirm that you are able to see my screen and basically the development environment?
Yes, it's looking great.
Okay. Okay, so I know that in the webinar description was that we will show the installation of the DES, but I believe that it's really really simple on the client side. It's just view of next, choosing the plugins what you would like to install with, and that's it. So there is no reason to spend some time with that. So I would like to show you more like very basic functions when working with the mainframe. As you can see, the desk here has different perspectives. This is the default one. The ZOS perspective is the default one. The other perspectives can be the other plugins what you are interfacing with the desk. For example, CA Intertest, CA FileMaster, or CA Endeavor. As you can see, this is the repository view for the Endeavor. The Intertest has different views because it's a debugging tool. So basically, this is also the view for the debugging where you can see the watch data or step and trace. But for today demonstration, I will stay with the default ZOS project view, and in the next sessions we will also go through the Endeavor and also the other testing tools perspectives. Okay, I would like to show you how basically easy it is to set up a new connection to ZOS. You can do it even here by clicking on ZOS new connection, or just right-click and choosing the connection. Okay. In my case, I have predefined the host name because I already did it several times. So for you, you just need to write your host name, and that's it. There is also default. There is a port that you need to choose. In CA, we are using the default port, so there is no change for me. And there is also authentication method that you can choose, or you are using the user ID, password, or some kind of certificate. Okay, so as you can see, it already created me a new connection. That still doesn't mean that I'm connected to the mainframe. When I would like to retrieve my data sets, it will prompt me to ask for a password. That means that basically we'll try to create a connection with the mainframe. Okay. Okay, so retrieve my data sets. Of course, I'm not a typical developer, so I do not have so many data sets. So if I want, for example, to access the other data sets, I can easily create a filter. In this case, I will try to access the data sets that are shared between our development teams or to my colleague data sets. I will see how long it will take this one. Okay, as you can see, it was quite quick. Development environment is allowing you to just show first 50 data sets. So if you want to load more, you just simply click on more, and you can load the rest of the data sets. Okay, so if you have a lot of data sets or members in these data sets, you can easily use the function locate and specify the data set what you are interested in. So maybe it's different one. So let's take, for example, SEO. Okay, I'm doing a not good thing because I'm trying to locate a member. I apologize for that. So this is how the locate is working. Okay, these are the members a lot of them. So using a locate, you can get to directly to the member. You are also able to create even the filters within the filters. So it's using a filter. It's quite a good solution if you have a lot of members, a lot of data sets, to basically get quickly to them, the ones what you need and what you are working with them. Okay, so let's go on my data sets, what I'm familiar with. When you are using the C development environment, it also allows you to see the properties of the data set. It's in different view. So basically, when you just click on the data set or the library, it will provide you all the information about the data set. So we can see that this one is reason type, and there are also some sequential data sets. You can find it out. You click for the properties, and also, of course, the PDS data sets, PDS type. I will now try to show you submitting of some JCL. In this case, we can choose probably camel cop JCL. We double click, it will open me. It will open me the program in the editor. And if I don't want to change anything, I can just basically decide to submit it immediately. Okay. It's already here. It's not in active jobs because it's already finished. And basically, you can see all of the. You can look on the job log. This one I would need because this is a job that I'm using mostly, when I'm trying to do the debugging the most. Very good advantage of the development environment is that if you want to copy or create new data sets, it's quite easy because you can use the function allocate like, and basically it will create you a new data set, and you can choose if you want to have the same characteristic as the one what I basically choose, or if you want to specify it differently. In this case, I want to use the same as the pgm.jcl library has. I can even decide about the other characteristics. Okay. Okay, and we have here this. Well, as you can see, that basically it's more or less the same data set as was the original library. Copying of the member is also quite easy because you can use the drop and drag function and just set it into the final destination, final data set that you want to copy it. Okay, now I will move to my local repository where I have some COBOL programs, and we can show that how easy it's basically to open several programs at the same time, so you don't have to double click on each one of them. If you will, also I can show you basically the definition. The definitions. Well, basically it's showing more information about each of the field. Okay, let's try to look also on the program control flow. Okay. Interesting. So let's start it once again. Okay, this is the view. So as you can see, it shows the program control flow, and if I will be, so it gives you better point of view of where you are currently, which one of the procedures were located in the program and how they are called. So clicking on the different paragraph is basically showing their also location in the code. So if I will close it on the original program here, and just double click, it will open me a new program, and I can even provide it here. Doesn't matter where it can be. I can do drag and drop with everything what I would like to have. There is also an outline, what is also helping, to have better overview on the procedures and what are used in the program. Okay, I was kicked out from the mainframe. So I guess that's in very basic the base operations with the mainframe what I was planning to show you today. So now I can open a place or space for the questions.
Okay, great. Folks, looks like we have a few more questions coming in. Some of them I'm afraid we won't be able to address over this webcast, but we'll be sure to follow up with you individually. So let's take a look here. Just one here on Eclipse, general question on whether this solution will operate on any Eclipse base that's sufficiently up to date. I guess in general, what are the requirements there?
Yes, so it will operate on any of the Eclipse base. So there are no known requirements or some limited requirements what we are aware of.
Excellent. Another thing that came out from this demo, is it possible to drag and drop stuff between LPARs?
Yes, I apologize, I forgot to show it. Yeah, it's possible to drag and drop between the LPARs.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, folks, in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap this up. Again, this is a first part of a series of webcasts that we're going to be running for CA development environment for Z Systems. In today's session, you received an overview of what this delivers and how it supports both millennial developers and those experienced on the mainframe. Stay tuned again for information on our upcoming webcast. In May, you can expect that we'll put one together with more details on how to change an application with this product. And then following that, sometime in June, we're going to discuss how to work with Eclipse plugins for our testing tool suite and Endeavor. Again, just some final notes here. Please do feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions about what was covered in today's session. Please take into consideration submitting something to our upcoming call for speakers for CA World 2017, whether you'd be interested in presenting yourself or if you'd just like to submit an idea on a topic that we should cover. And then finally, folks, this really is such an incredible offering that we're so excited to share more about. And if you are interested in really giving a test drive here, we do have a validation program that you're absolutely eligible to participate in, and we highly encourage that you do so. Again, if you have any questions about that, we'd be happy to take those. along with Rose Sakash, who joined our call just now, our DevOps expert here at CA. Excellent. So I'm gonna leave it there, and again, just thank you so very much for taking the time to join us today. We really do appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, rest of the week. Thank you.
Thank you all.